What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with that scorching hot analysis. We're gonna talk about Stephen raining down them threes and obliterating every defender, every team in his path. And he has led his team to the playoffs as the main scoring option. This was the season that everybody wanted to see besides me and my girl, but we got it anyway because Steph had no Clay. What would happen if Clay had no Steph? What would happen if Steph had no Clay? Will we see a Steph where he's the scoring champion again? Would Steph Curry average over 30 again for a season? Because he didn't have to do it because he had KD in him. He didn't have to do it because he always had Clay. And the season that he did it, he just got there. Now he surpassed that 30-point mark while being on a scorching hot efficiency from the field and from three. And he has played better defense that we have seen. And you got to give credit to the Warriors playing better defense. I feel like they wasn't going to be a great offensive team. They was going to have to be better defensively. And Steve Kerr and his team was able to get that done. And Steph is a guy that you got to watch out for. This guy can literally erupt. And we didn't just see it this year. This has been his whole entire career. Once he's feeling it, he's pulling up from everywhere. I remember watching the Memphis game today, and Steph just thought, you know what? Let me just pull up a three from right here. Didn't win in all net. If you got a guy that can do that, you don't want to have seasons like this. This is my biggest problem is if I got a guy that can give me 30 any day or more, why would I want two back-to-back seasons where we fighting just to be in the playoffs or we completely out of it? And on top of that, James Wiseman didn't even play that much this year, and he's out for the whole season, so he didn't even develop that much this year, which kind of made last year irrelevant to the point that if this team does get beat in the first round, this was an amazing show. But Steph always puts on amazing shows, whether he's with Clay or not. And he has done that again this season. But we do have to put Steph in that MVP conversation. I feel like he has to be in there with these last 2 months. Is absolutely nuclear, blowing up anything that happens. And it's just fun to rock because they actually winning now. They actually have put together a win streak now. They actually have played better together. I was so disappointed, not because of Steph. I just feel like his teammates didn't step up. They missed layups. They turn the ball over. They foul a lot. And it was just frustrating seeing Steph trying to do whatever he could, especially missing all of the last year and trying to get back into form this year. And they lose so much. And now it's all clicking at the right time. They're defending, they're playing together, they executing, and Steph is playing at his highest level of confidence that I've seen in a while. And everything is going in the right direction through all the injuries, through all the chaos, through all the dysfunction. They actually playing good basketball for a sustainable time. And I feel like they haven't done that all season. I haven't felt that the Warriors was a great team this entire year. Even the times they got on a 3-4 game win streak, I never felt like they figured it out. I felt like they still was a team that I thought would be at the bottom of the West at best. And honestly and truthfully, they still are because they'll be the seventh or the eighth. They'll be at the bottom of the playoff picture anyway. Even though a lot of people had them being higher, Steph should get an enormous amount of credit for the MVP race. I definitely wouldn't pick him to win because I felt like he got off to a bad start. He did miss some games throughout this year, and some games he didn't shoot well either. He ended up having games where the jump shot just wasn't going, and he kept shooting and it didn't go. But this has been one of the most dominant stretches we have seen in NBA history where a guy is just figuring out whatever it takes. I have to put my team first. And Steph has always been a champion to me, even when he was in Davidson doing whatever he could on those type of teams. And to see him become the man and the player that he is today is absolutely amazing to see. Passing Will Chamberlain, breaking Harden record for threes in a month, scoring 32 because he had 46. He be at 32 points a game, and to still be shooting above 40% from three with the volume of threes that he's taking, and that's already above average. But then you look at the average of the threes he's taking leading the NBA. It's just insane that he's making it at this efficiency. We all know he's the greatest shooter ever, but saying all that, this season will be bittersweet because we got to see a Steph that was in kill mode. We had to see a Steph that had to literally will his team to every victory just to make it to the playoffs. And those seasons hurt you because it ultimately fails because they don't do much in the playoffs. Because a one man show is fun to watch, but we all know how they end. It ends in defeat in the NBA, and I think this won't be no different. It will be a fun matchup. It will be fun games to see because that's what Steph is. He puts on shows, and he's a superstar. He's a top 5 player. Steph Curry plays so good this year. He's the best guard in the entire NBA, and he proved that for so many weeks now. And it's just amazing to see what he has done this season and the resiliency that he has, and seeing his teammates like Wiggins, a guy who has been, made fun of because he didn't live up to that superstar hype. He didn't live up to that franchise changing hype. And he still ain't. But he has, found comfortability in that. I can do more. I can still become a better player. I can still become a better defender. They challenged him, and he took the challenge, and I'm seeing the differences in Wiggins' attitude, in his play, in his hustle, in the spunk that he plays with now. And that's what we hoped that he would do going to Golden State, playing in Minnesota. He just didn't have it. He just didn't do it. And going to the Golden State culture, I see the changes. I see the improvements. I see the growth. And I see a guy that wants to be in Golden State, wants to play for this team, and I didn't really get that much out of Minnesota Wiggins, and it's something that will bring excitement next year if they do keep him around. That he has bought in and he has played better, he has elevated his play, and then you add another floor spacer and a guy that can really catch fire with Steph and Clay. This team can be very, very dangerous as we're starting to see these last couple weeks, and that would be interesting. But I would definitely say Steph, the way he has played the last 2 months, you have to put him in the top 3. You look at Harden falling out the conversation. You look at the fact that Embiid is missing games. You look at the fact that LeBron has fell apart as he had a good campaign, but it ended up being, bittersweet too because he could have been MVP this year. People was, pushing that storyline early in the year for him to be able to win it, and he crumbled with injuries and fell off a little bit even when AD went down before he got injured. And that made room for other guys. Dame got a little cold. Steph got a little bit more hot. And he has passed him an MVP conversation. And, you know, Giannis has been pretty steady, but he's not having the Steph season. And, it's good to see him enter this conversation. I had him all NBA first team on my ballot easily. And it really did bring some excitement to Golden State. When you lose, you get Oubre and you lose Clay and you lose Wiseman, you get depressed, you get frustrated, you get angry. And Steph and this whole entire organization and team, really, got a lot of energy going on. And they are must see TV at this point, especially because of the playing and because of the playoffs. And this is still something to get the fans excited about through all the chaos that happened so far for their season, to end it with a playoff spot and to end it the way they're ending on his win streak, and for Steph to be blazing, going for 40 to 50 or 30 at worst every game is just absolutely incredible. And it's tough to do, but he has done it consistently so far these last 2 months. And the guy is just a joy to watch. I'm a person that knows Steph for a long time. He's a brother of mine, honestly. But when I came into this year, I did pick Golden State to make it to the playoffs in the West. I did have them finishing in that bottom spots in the West. The highest I thought that they could possibly go would be 6, and I feel like if he finished 6, I wouldn't pick him to be an MVP. To be the MVP, and I still don't have him winning the MVP. I didn't even have Russ winning the MVP the year that he won it, but he was doing something similar like this. So I'm being consistent with how I judge this. But It is bringing some excitement to the NBA, and it does bring some excitement to the play-in and also the playoffs that nobody can figure out how to slow down. Nobody can figure out how to take Steph out his rhythm right now. And even when you thought you got him figures out, he just blicks you by the end of the game. So I don't have Steph being MVP. I do think this is on par with his MVP season. If not, they're on the same level to me. If not, a little bit better. But I do want to see how they go out. Do they go out fighting? Do they go out easy? Do they go out, with a W in the first round? Do they complete the upset? He did the Baron Davis shirt thing, jersey thing, and they did do some crazy things that year and even made some noise in the second round. And the way this team is playing and the way Utah is playing, it still looks like Utah gonna get them if they get eighth. But they can also get Phoenix some trouble. I think Phoenix match up well against them, and they have a lot more weapons than they do. But people are believing right now in the Warriors and what they can do, and you can't really blame them because what we have seen so far the last 3 weeks. Other than that, congratulations to Steph. You broke a lot of records this year. You caused a lot of chaos. You solidified yourself as the best point guard. You became the best guard in the NBA this year, and it's just good to see him healthy, and it's good to see him playing his game at his highest level, and seeing the greatest shooter ever be the greatest shooter ever for another season. I ain't gonna complain about that either. As a fan of Steph, I picked Steph as my most favorite player to watch this year, and watching him against the Grizzlies only validated and verified um, that I wasn't lying about that, because he had me excited again watching the Grizzlies. So let me know what you guys think. Is Steph MVP? Should he get more consideration for MVP? Can they really do something dangerous in the playoffs, or is this team capable of just winning two of them and that's it? And should we give him more consideration because of the team he has, the injuries they have, and the fact that they have overcome all that, and they have played unified and they have played together? And a lot of it is because of the leadership of Stephen Draymond and Steve Kerr, instilling good systems and ways to keep these guys playing at a high level. And they even have changed and evolved how they have played throughout this season, just so they can win more games and squeeze as much as they can out of this roster, and what they have left. And that's what champions do. That's what superstars do, and that's what winners do. And that's why we have to give Steph his credit this year. Got no hate for him. Only got love for Steph. He's must see TV. And other than that, I'll be back with another video Monday. Hopefully, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm gone. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed your all weekend and enjoy your day. See y'all tomorrow.